Hey guys, this is going to be a short video about putting together um, your essay, your rough draft, and I'm going to look at the model essay that was in our Unit 2 Week 2 folder, so Unit 2.2, to help kind of show you what it is that you're going to be creating. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That was the outline. Well, there we go. Here is the model essay that you're going to find in your Unit 2.2 folder. If you wanted to pull it out, or if you want to kind of do this, if you want to print it and do this with highlighters as I'm doing it through the screen. But you are going to be creating a 5-paragraph essay. And from your chapter reading, you know that one paragraph is your introduction, which is going to have your hook, your general information, and then your thesis. 3 paragraphs in the middle are called your body paragraphs, and they will each have topic sentences, supporting details with evidence from your sources, and a concluding sentence. And then your 5th paragraph is going to be your conclusion, which introduces nothing new to your paper, but simply sums up your whole paper, hitting your major points one last time before closing. So with your rough draft, you're going to put it in MLA format, just like we've been practicing. You're going to have a title, and it's up to you what you want to title it, as long as it is school appropriate. And then you're going to begin with your introduction. Well, introductions are built a little different than the way we have been building paragraphs up until this point, because you are introducing the whole paper. Your very first sentence needs to be a hook. And a hook is something that is there to catch the reader's attention and hook them into your topic. Now, because we're talking about an informational, argumentative college paper, this is not necessarily going to be this huge earth-shattering statement, but it's something to get the reader thinking, interested, intrigued. Here in this model paper, we know very little about space, but we know even less about our oceans. And so that hook is there to get you thinking, ooh, we always think about space being this vast unknown area. I've never really thought about the fact that the ocean we know even less of, and I swim in that. So here's our hook. From it, hopefully, it gets you thinking, gets you going, ooh, maybe I don't know that much. And it starts to introduce your topic. We're going to be talking about the ocean in this paper. Your next sentences are bridging this gap. You are providing to the reader all the information that they need to know before they start jumping into your argument. So here's your supporting details. I'll mark them yellow just now so you can see it. But it's basic information everyone needs to know first so that you can dive deep into your argument and they follow what you're saying. Space exploration has been in the limelight for years. People are more concerned about what is in space than what is in their planet's ocean. A vast majority of our planet Earth is covered by ocean waters. See how this is kind of basic stuff, but it gets you thinking, ooh, space, oh, ocean, ooh, most of Earth is made up of ocean. And they're bridging this gap to get you to your thesis statement. And your thesis statement will almost always be the very last sentence in your first paragraph, because you are, like your book is talking about, kind of building this bow tie and narrowing your topic down to the very thing you're going to be arguing for the rest of the paper. So I'm going to underline your thesis, and you're going to see the 3 points this author is going to be talking about in their 3 body paragraphs. Exploring the ocean should be humanity's main priority because, what are they arguing? We should be discovering things in our ocean. Why is because, 1, they can find cures to diseases. So paragraph 2 is going to be all about that point because it was listed first. Comma, identify ways to help the environment. Why else should we be exploring the ocean? Paragraph 3 is going to be all about how we identify ways to help the environment if we are exploring our oceans. And then last, discover new wildlife. The third reason why we should be making exploring the ocean a priority, because paragraph 4 is going to explain how we will discover new wildlife. So this is a 3-part thesis. We start with our hook. We give the audience the information they need to successfully follow the argument. And then we end paragraph 1 with our 3-part thesis, the 3 reasons that we'll be arguing in this paragraph. The order of this thesis is the order of your body paragraphs. So your topic sentence is going to be all about how exploring the ocean is going to help you find cures to diseases. So look, we've got a transition word, which is kind of nice. We have our topic sentence, which is laying out exactly what we're going to be talking about in this paper. Humanity needs to explore the ocean because they can find cures to diseases that will potentially help humankind. See how that was our first point in our thesis? It's stated a little differently, but it is still telling you this entire paragraph is about this topic. And then we move into our supporting details, which again is going to be everything here until our concluding sentence. Once you start getting into your body paragraphs, this is where you're going to see I have been forcing you into writing body paragraphs all semester long, and I wanted you to get into a good pattern of this. So we have our evidence here, we have our explanation of the evidence, you're looking at your outline, you're following your plan, and you're making sure you're making sense as you're developing this in your body paragraphs. And you're using your tools, description, compare and contrast, classifications, cause and effect, whatever is necessary for the audience to understand your argument. And then we end our body paragraph. I'm going to go ahead and take supporting details away. We're going to end our body paragraph with our concluding sentence. Oh, it keeps going. Here we go. We're going to end our body paragraph with our concluding sentence. And this is simply there to help remind people exploring the ocean may be a huge risk, but in the end, it will prove to be beneficial to a lot of people. Just in case you forgot what this paragraph was about, our concluding sentence is summing it up. The other piece of your body paragraphs is your evidence. And so you'll see here the author has a direct quote. Quotation mark, exactly what came from the book or the source that they used, and then they have their in-text citation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark this with red font so you can see it well. Your quotation mark shows you exactly what they took from the source. So anything in that quotation mark is exact word for word what the author wrote. There is no period at the end. We wait until after our in-text citation to add the period. That way it's all neat and packed together. We know all of this goes with final frontier versus fruitful frontier. However, do you notice in the beginning we have the author's name and we didn't include it in the in-text citation. So here's where, as a writer, you've got some free choice. You've got some free range. You know from last week we have to have, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, 2 facts for our in-text citation. Author's name and page number if possible, author's name and abbreviated title if not. Well, if I use the author's name in the sentence, I don't have to add the author's name at the end of the sentence also. You see how that's repetitive and it's not necessary? Because I choose to use the author's name in the sentence, My in-text citation only has to have the abbreviated title. And we could actually abbreviate this a little more. I'm going to do Final Frontier Verses, and that's absolutely fine. But because your audience member is going to be a smart individual, they're going to be able to say, oh, that's an author's name. Oh, there's the title. Well, when I move down to my Works Cited page, I guess this must be the citation because there's the author's name and there's the title. So once you start writing your paragraphs, if you choose to introduce the quote with the title, the author's name is the only thing that has to be in your parentheses for your in-text. If you decide to use the author's name as the introduction to your quote, then the abbreviated title is all you have to have in the parentheses of your in-text citation. Technically, if you were to have both of these introducing your quote, then you wouldn't have to have an in-text citation because you placed it in the sentence. That gets a little wordy. You probably won't do that. But what the reader needs is those two factual pieces to find it on the Works Cited page. And here we find it partly in the sentence, and then the rest in the parentheses for your in-text citation. As you go back through and you continue looking at this model essay, you'll notice the second paragraph follows the same format. You start off with your topic sentence. There's a nice transition word there. You're moving into your evidence and your facts. You follow with your in-text citation and the period. And then you have your explanation of the quote so that the reader truly knows what it is you're trying to say before you keep adding more information, explaining that information, and then ending your body paragraph with the concluding sentence. Your third body paragraph follows the same format. Topic sentence, moving into evidence, moving into explaining evidence, moving into more evidence, moving into explain more evidence before you conclude with a summary sentence at the end. By the time you get to your conclusion, which is the last paragraph in your paper, you as the writer feel like you're tapped out. You've said everything you needed to say. If they don't get it, they should just read it again. There's nothing new to say. Well, your conclusion is simply a summary of the paper. You're reminding people what you've already said one last time in case, as a reader, they zoned out, they got confused. They're getting one last shot to understand it. So you want to make sure you are breaking down your thesis. In conclusion, people need to explore the ocean before space because they can find cures to the diseases. Ways to help the environment. There was another point. And they can find new kinds of wildlife. So restate your thesis, but do a little new version. You want to be a little innovative about the way you say it again. You're not just copying and pasting the exact sentence. Then go on to hit your major points from the body paragraphs. The ocean is full of helpful resources, blah, 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 blah. Exploring the ocean can help prevent environmental problems, blah, 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 blah. Also, exploring the ocean can lead to discovery of blah, 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 blah. But remind them one last time those main ideas you are hitting in your 3 body paragraphs. And at the end, you want to try to challenge the reader. How could ocean exploration impact your life for the better? Another nice way to kind of end it is to bring back your idea of a hook. Next time you think about the questions of space, remember the ocean is even bigger. That may be a little lame and you can keep revising it. But bringing back in that image from your hook is called a full circle ending. And it's a nice way to show, look, I have put this paper together on purpose. It is clean. It connects. I'm a credible source. I know this topic well, and we are finally done. No matter where your paper ends, whether it's the first line of a page or the last line of a page or somewhere in between, your works cited page is always going to come on a new page. So you're going to press enter until the very first line holds the title Works Cited, and then you can copy and paste straight from your outline or from your annotation page over to your rough draft. Just remember, any comments I left you about things to adjust or change, you're going to want to do before you turn this paper in and I take a rubric to it. I have started highlighting and marking some pieces. There's an extra credit assignment that you can turn in early if you're wanting 5 points extra credit on your final draft. Make sure you're following those directions in order to get full credit for it. But it is extra credit. It is an optional assignment, so don't feel like you have to do it if you don't want to. So that was talking about in-text citations within a paper. That was talking about how to format your paper, and hopefully you're seeing why I may create an outline and how you can use that as a guideline and a to-do list for your final draft. I hope that this was helpful. Reach out if you have any questions, and I will be opening up the next unit soon.